sure they know who Cobb is?
No, I'm not sure. Now, this code could win or lose the war. If you can't get Philip Cobb out, you're going to have to kill him.
Professor Cobb! Professor! Open up! Professor Cobb! Professor, open up! Professor! Open up! Professor Cobb! Professor, open up! All right, break it in. Professor Cobb, you're under arrest.
I know.
And you also know that the city has been under British military authority since 8 o'clock this morning. It is under that authority that I order you to turn over all notes, papers, and memoranda in your possession.
There are no such things in my possession any longer. There they are.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the ripidest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
What's your business here, sir?
Any kind of heavy work that needs doing. Carrying brick, chopping wood, loading wagons. Town looks deserted. Where is everybody?
Staying in their homes out of trouble.
Trouble? What do you mean?
This community's under martial law, sir. If you're planning on coming in, you'll have to give me that rifle.
Well, I wasn't planning on shooting much game in St. Vincent's anyway.
You can pick it up when you get ready to leave. There's a sundown curfew. If you're seen on the streets after dark, you'll be buried with full honors, sir.
I'll keep that in mind. How's the bread business?
Daniel Boone.
Hey, when'd you get here?
Just now.
Any trouble getting in?
No? You hungry? You still making those hot cross buns with the honey on top?
Sit down. Hot out of the oven, Dale. How's the family?
Wonderful. How's yours?
Oh, everybody's fine around here except for what's going on out there.
That barrier at the edge of town. How many men are usually on it?
Just the ones you seen there.
Where's the main encampment?
About 3 miles out. They haven't built a stockade yet. Hey, you're not planning on going out there, are you?
It depends. What do you know about a man named Cobb?
Oh, school teacher? You know, I thought there was something funny about all of that. You here to see him?
Yeah. What's funny?
The funny thing is that they bothered with him at all. They're not holding him at the encampment. I saw him this morning at the Clifford house when I delivered bread.
Is that the end?
They're holding him in a room on the second floor. There's a couple of soldiers and an officer.
Was he all right when you saw him this morning?
Looked kind of pale. Only saw him for a second. They were bringing him out of the schoolroom. Hey, Daniel, what's so all-fired military about a school teacher?
Take my word for it. He's important.
that's the first time I've seen him.
Bert. Colonel George Bert.
These Indians will require quarters indoors.
Sir,
Where is the prisoner?
on the second floor, sir.
Maxwana, come with me.
If you gentlemen will follow me.
You figure he's here for the school teacher?
I do.
But Daniel, if he knows you, isn't that going to make your job a little bit harder here?
Well, we've never met, fortunately. The only time I've seen him is from a distance.
He always travel with an Indian escort?
No, not always, but he's full of surprises. Does this bakery have a delivery wagon, one big enough to carry 2 people?
It'll carry 3.
I've quartered the Indians in the ballroom, sir.
Is there a fireplace?
Yes, sir, but I don't think it'll be necessary. The weather's been quite warm.
So it has. However, our allies have many uses for fire, as no doubt you will learn. But never at first hand, I trust.
I'm afraid I don't follow you, sir.
I have made a study of the various tribes in this area and have found the Ottawa to be the most advanced in the arts of persuasion, best suited to my work. Is that not so, Maxwana?
I am not a judge of your work.
As you see, they're a pretty surly lot. However, I can deal with them. I've concluded a war treaty with them. Now they're our allies. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Clements?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Good. Now, send in Mr. Cobb. I'm very curious to see what he looks like.
Yes, at once, sir.
Put it back. There's no magic in it. Not your kind, at any rate. Not even a picture.
I can read.
As I live and breathe, it can read. Tell me, my knowledgeable friend, in your vast store of acquired knowledge, have you come across a manual which describes how an Ottawa brave should address a British officer?
That is not mentioned in the war treaty.
A guardhouse lawyer. How very tiresome. Oh, good. You are Professor Cobb.
I demand to know why I have been held here without being apprised of the charges against me.
Let me understand you correctly, sir. Are you suggesting that I should waste my time and yours by pretending that you have been unworthily and unlawfully detained?
This is my classroom. I teach school. I was not aware of a law that had been passed forbidding that.
Do sit down at the head of the class, if you please.
Once again, I demand that... What's the use?
You don't look well.
Are you a doctor?
In a way. Though I do not treat bodily ailments. His Majesty's government has found me useful in dealing with more pernicious types of disease. Now, sir, if you and I could work out together...
You talk too much, sir. Get to the point.
Is that the way you talk to your pupils?
My pupils, sir, range in age from 6 to 14. I should think a man of your age would know better. I teach the English language. I presume you are an Englishman.
Yes. And you, sir, are impertinent.
Which of us is the impertinent one is a matter of opinion, Colonel. In any case, I fail to see that I have a great deal to lose, whatever my attitude.
Not a great deal, as you say. Particularly since you've already lost your wife and son in this idiotic rebellion.
You, sir, are not only impertinent, you're an insensitive boor. My wife and son are none of your affair.
But you are, Professor. You are. I have traveled a great distance to devote myself exclusively to you. Are you going to be reasonable?
About what?
I have been authorized to make the following proposition to you. Upon delivery of your code, you are to be paid a draft upon the Bank of England in the sum of £10,000 sterling. You are to be set free, and no further claims or demands to be made upon you.
10,000. That's truly splendid. A man could live out his life very happily with 10,000. Too bad.
Mr. Cobb, I have here in my possession captured documents which prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that you are the author of this code.
I see.
Now, sir, your answer.
No.
Your final answer? Mr. Cobb!
I was just thinking. Mrs. Cobb would have been very proud to hear about the Bank of England. Yes, sir. My final answer now. Order my execution and get it over with.
It's not quite as simple as that. Come here, will you? This is Maxuana, the war captain of our allies, the Ottawas.
Ningandi Kotaka.
Oh, he speaks English.
I'm sure he does. I've known many of his nation. I admire them.
And no doubt you're acquainted with their tribal customs.
Somewhat.
In particular, the treatment that they accord to prisoners. Important prisoners, that is.
Torture. I hadn't considered that.
Good. Now, will you do so?
In my condition, I'd be dead in 5 minutes.
On the contrary. Maxuana here tells me that he and his colleagues can keep a man on this side of death, the painful side, Mr. Cobb, for 24 hours at least. They make a kind of game of it. They call it a ritual. It's part of their religion. The prisoner is treated as an honored guest at a great feast. He is alternately tortured and fed. During his rest periods, he is expected to propose toasts, tell stories, share jokes with his tormentors. All this, of course, depends upon his ability to withstand pain. Now, in your case, Mr. Cobb, I suspect that when your time off comes, you will be screaming for mercy, begging for them to kill you and all that sort of thing. Now, why subject yourself to such misery? Tell Mr. Cobb that what I say is true. That if I order it, he will carry out the tortures I've described.
What he says is true. I will do as he orders. It is mentioned in the war treaty.
I'll give you some time to think it over. A little time. Guard! Give me what I ask, and I will send this savage away.
If there is a savage here, it is not the Ottawa.
Take him back. He's so frail. I don't want to risk losing him through your incompetence.
That man is not fit to be put to a test of strength. It is unfair. But we are not incompetent.
That is for me to judge. We will select 2 braves to go on a raiding party.
For what purpose?
You see these? A few members of your race have served the crown well enough to earn them. You will never be one of those few until you learn to do as you are told.
I have no wish to be an officer. And I am not your body servant.
You will tell them to proceed upstream about 10 miles to a village called Kimberley. You will enter the village under cover of darkness. They will capture this person and bring him to me here. Any further questions?
No.
It's 5 minutes up and back. Sure you don't want me to go with you?
Just have that wagon ready to roll.
Remember, the livery stable is just off the square.
We'll find it and we'll meet you there.
Who is it?
Just listen. Is your door locked?
Yes, but there's a guard at the door.
Have they started?
No, they haven't touched me. But they should begin soon. We haven't much time.
This shouldn't take long.
Halt or I'll fire! Captain! Captain!
Colonel Burton, sir. We apprehended this man carrying a coded message. His name's Wingate, a local citizen.
Where did you get the message? Talk! Maxuana. There's something I need to learn. Get your men ready.
We cannot raise the dead.
The message.
I have it here.
This is too carefully worked out to be a forgery. This business at the top is obviously a reference to a key to the code. If only this man had lived.
It all happened so suddenly, sir. There was no time to stop the soldiers from shooting.
Do you realize what this means? It means that each one of these villages has a leader who can decipher the code. Now, if we can find the key to it, there will be nothing standing between us and total victory. Those braves I sent to Kimberley should be back by now. Where are they?
It will not be long.
I can't wait. Come with me. You too.
You think you can get the boards off in time?
You just keep watching that door.
Unlock it. Mr. Cobb, I would like you to know. Get away from that window. I said get away from the window. What's going on here? If you're thinking of trying to escape, Mr. Cobb, we have soldiers posted below.
Glad to see you gentlemen are being sensible.
You only have one shot. There are 3 of us.
4, and only one worth shooting. Take their guns, Mr. Cobb. Professor.
You won't get more than 10 feet from this room.
Better take the safest route. Are you up to it?
I'll try.
If they escape, there'll be more than one court-martial. Now spread out and search for them. And find them. Well?
My braves have returned from Kimberley. They have done as you ordered.
Oh, well done for a change. Bring them along.
I've got to catch my breath.
I gotta get down on the other side of this building. My friend will see us at the stable, bring the wagon out. We'll make a run for it, jump in, and leave this little town in a hurry.
I'll do my best.
Sure you will.
Mr. Cobb! We were talking earlier about the matter of your sacrifices. There was one person that you neglected to mention. You still have one son remaining. Raymond Cobb, presently living with an aunt at Kimberley. Presently my prisoner, Mr. Cobb. Either you give me the code or your son will die, and in the manner which I have already described. I know you can hear me, Mr. Cobb. You remember our conversation about the Ottawa methods?
He's lying.
I've got to see.
Even if it's true, Mr. Cobb, he's not the kind of man to keep his bargains.
What are you talking about?
You're far too valuable to the Continental Army. He'll never let you go, don't you know that?
But he's got my son.
We can't be sure.
Father, don't come out! Do you hear me? Father, don't come out!
Louis, look, get away as best you can, please. I don't want to involve you in this.
I can't do that.
You're mad.
I know how you feel, and I promise you I'll do everything I can to get your son free.
My boy. You have a son?
I have.
A wife living?
I have.
I lost my wife when the river forts were shelled by the Continental Army, Mr. Boone. My oldest son, the first year of the war, fighting for that same army. 5 years. I gave 5 years when I could have been living comfortably in Maryland with a fine home for my wife, a university, a library, and my 2 sons growing up in an atmosphere where they would have known what the world is really like. I killed them all.
No, you haven't. But unless you come with me, you'll kill your son, Mr. Cobb. And if I kill you, your son will be of no further use to Burton, and he will kill him. Believe me. Now, do we move, or do I squeeze this trigger?
Mr. Cobb, you have put me to a great deal of trouble. I want this foolishness to stop at once.
It's just a short run from here.
Please, stay out of this. I don't want your death on my conscience.
Here! Here I am! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm all alone. The other man got away.
Those poor, pathetic rebels. See that he regains consciousness fully before you kill him. Inside. Well, as you see, your son is unharmed.
Untie him and let him go home.
All in good time. We intercepted this message tonight. We took it from a man named Wingate.
Wingate. The barrel maker.
The late barrel maker, unfortunately. Now, Professor Cobb, you will show us how your code is constructed, then you will decipher this message. At that point, your son and you will be free to go. I do not think there is any need for further persuasion.
Father, I'm not...
What about this man?
Obviously a spy.
No, he's not a spy, Colonel. He was only trying to help me. If you want the key to the code, you will release him as well.
Very well. Clemens? Kill this man now. I do not yet know about the boy.
Among my people, a man who does not keep his word has no honor. You gave your word that this man would go free.
Yes, I did. One has to do that kind of thing in wartime. Either you will do as you are told, or I will have you burned alive. It is mentioned in the war treaty.
I have been ordered to do this.
You fear your white colonel more than you honor your ancestors.
Why do you say this?
The Ottawa pride themselves on their skill at the slow death.
That is true.
Aren't you a true Ottawa? Don't you practice the ritual of your tribe? Unless this man is not a full-fledged brave, I insist on my right to die with honor.
How have you earned this right?
We fought and I won.
You ask for pain? You prefer it?
I insist on it.
The knife would be quick. Why do you choose the slow death?
I choose to die with honor.
Very well. A brave warrior has fallen into our hands. Let us treat him with honor, that the manner of his death be not forgotten by any.
Mr. Boone, why?
I've seen one or two of these, boy. Maybe you better look the other way.
As long as the warrior maintains his hold on the war axe, the ceremony will continue. The moment he lets go, he dies. Let the ceremony begin. The warrior will partake of the ceremonial wine.
I am honored.
We will begin with the ritual of the clubs. Your pardon is asked.
You have it?
The honored guest may eat and drink and have speech with us.
Let me say at once, I'm proud to be the honored guest of the Ottawa. Mightiest of nations. Bravest in battle. A warrior without food is like a fire without wood. My people have a saying. Baker of bread holds the key to all things.
Among our people, the bakers of bread are women and old men. We have no such saying.
Bread is our staff of life. We depend on the baker of bread. Without his help, we would surely die the slow death.
Tell us of the red men who dwell near your home.
Oh, mainly Cherokee, Shawnee. There's an amusing story about that. I think it's amusing anyway. It seems one winter, the rivers froze up earlier than usual.
It is a relatively simple system. The English alphabet consists of 26 letters. Cryptography, the art of ciphering, is merely the substitution of one symbol for another. In the case of the Continental Code, it is letter for letter. Now, one may also use numbers, which makes it more difficult. Now, with only 26 possibilities, there are at most 676 permutations.
I don't mean to rush you, Mr. Cobb, but would you please get on with it?
The key to this code is always a phrase in English consisting of letters and punctuation marks totaling 26. The message is coded to one of 10 keys. The directions for decoding are to be found at the top of the message. Once you know the phrases, you have the key. Child's play.
Fascinating. Then you will have no difficulty in deciphering this.
Not a great deal.
Then proceed. Proceed.
The way they finally settled it was a brave that could toss the bullet farthest won the firewood. It was the coldest winter I can remember.
The honored guest has eaten and drunk for the first time. He must now submit himself once again to the punishment.
Document number 3, line 3, Phrase 3.
Which is document 3?
The Declaration of Independence. Do you have a copy?
I have not, but I sincerely hope for your sake that you have.
That all men are created equal.
Thank you. Thank all of you. I believe we were talking about cold weather. I think I'd like to get back to that.
T-H-A-L.
Just a moment. Where is the second T in the word that?
There is no need to spell it out twice, since the letter T in this code key can also stand for A, D, or R. We simply place the letters next to T. The rest is a simple process of elimination.
A process that might take hours. Will you decode this message at once, please?
I'll do no further work until I see my son standing here unhurt.
Mr. Cobb, I don't think that you're aware of how ridiculous that request is at this point.
I'm also aware that you are pressed for time, Colonel. You should be willing to pay for it. I'm not asking for much, but I will have what I ask for.
Very well. Clements. Come with me.
I think you all know the legend behind the story of the coming of the first winter.
Take young Cobb up to his father's classroom. What in heaven's name is going on here? I ordered you to kill this man.
He has chosen to die with honor.
He has chosen? Oh, but of course, I'd forgotten. I had completely forgotten the reason why I employed you in the first place. And what is this? Practice?
You have intruded upon a sacred ritual. I order you to leave.
You order me? Oh, no, my savage friend. That is definitely not included in the war treaty. I've been altogether too lenient and free and easy with you. Consider yourself under house arrest.
We will not obey.
You all follow this man. It is best you know the consequences. Treaty or no treaty, I will not be disobeyed. Follow Maxuana, and he will lead you to your deaths. Now, I order you to kill this man now, and place this one under restraint. Now.
Maxuana, you might as well do as he says. Death with honor has no meaning unless it comes from a worthy victor. And all this time, I thought you were your own man.
Be quiet. You have bought enough time as it is.
I am my own man.
You are an animal, and you shall die like an animal. That's better. Now, once again, I order you to...
The ritual will continue.
The legend of the first winter. The first man to walk the earth. I believe you call him Wajunkaga. We call him the baker of bread. One night, a voice came to him saying, now is the time to come to the cause of all men who seek freedom. Go up to the room where the sons of men are taught wisdom and rescue the bringer of knowledge. Now that he is secure in the safety of his own son, But move with caution, for those who seek to destroy freedom will be looking for you. Now is the time, O baker of bread, now.
I do not understand.
Well, give me just a moment to clear my mind.
February what? The date, man.
Hundreds and hundreds of Continental soldiers will die because of me.
Nonsense. It just means the whole thing will be over sooner.
Sooner for some.
Don't be a fool!
Hold it! Well timed, Professor.
Burton, he knows the key to the code.
Burton's dead. Let's get out of here. Come on. We'll have to make a run for the stable. Are you ready? Come on.
Hold! Hold, don't shoot!
Go to the stable and get in the wagon. Hurry. Go on.
The animals were jealous of his power over fire, and they sought to destroy him, but his father had a plan.
What was the plan?
You know, I forgot.
No. Let the brave warrior escape. He has earned it. And let us leave the dishonorable men to their own dishonor.
Dan, over here! Get the wagon!
We just got word. Clark has retaken St. Vincent.
Well, since Wingate the barrel maker was dead, I guess the attack was carried off without benefit of my code.
Not at all. Another message was sent. Wingate had a replacement. You didn't. Excuse me. Dan, we've got to have a talk.
Jim, I haven't had any sleep for 72 hours.
Now, Dan, tell me the truth. Was I right? Would you ever, in this long and fruitful life, ever once kill a man in cold blood? Even if George Washington himself asked you pretty please.
Offhand, I can only think of one man I'd shoot in cold blood. That's the fellow who keeps...
Boone, I must ask a great favor of you. Get Lawana and bring her here quickly.
It's that bad.
Soon, my people will bury me. And unless Lawana is here, they will start to bury each other.
For 15 years, she hasn't seen the land or faces of her people. Must we now beg her to return? I say she is no longer a Delaware. She's a white. And I want no white for my queen.
I challenge the words of my cousin. Luana is my daughter, blood of my blood. Does council deny her the right to be queen?
We do not deny her the right. We question her fitness.
And what will answer your question?
To see her for ourselves.
You shall see her. Daniel Boone will bring her here. You can judge her for her fitness. Is it agreed?
It is agreed.
Do you remember why I asked you to take Lawana away many years ago?
To learn the ways of the white man.
That is true. But there was another better reason. More important, I feared for her life.
Tatama?
Tatama. Many times since the death of the mother of Lawana, my council had begged me to take another woman to provide a male heir. This woman could have protected my child from Tatama's ambitions for her son. But I could not take another woman. Do you understand that, Boone?
I can understand that.
Tatama could not. These are the wedding garments of the mother of Lawana. She must wear them when she comes back.
She may not want to wear them. She may not want to come back. What then?
Then Katoga will be chief. A fine young man, brave, intelligent, but his ears are full of the words of his mother, who lusts for power, and to prove that power, she will make war, and many of my people will die. Boone, it is the deepest wish of this old man to see his only child once more before he dies.
Ted is gone.
He must not be allowed to return.
I wish it were not necessary.
Is it necessary for you to become chief?
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the ripperest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Hungry, Katoga? Help yourself.
You must think me foolish.
Well, it did seem a mite foolish. You leaned up against that tree all night when there was a good fire a few feet away. You're, not planning anything hostile, are you?
No.
And why are you following me?
To see that you do not bring Luana back.
Well, it's Tedescon's wish that Luana comes back.
Tedescan will do anything to prevent my becoming chief.
You know, that's interesting. Because he's told me that you'd make a fine chief.
Then why does he oppose me so?
He opposes your mother. He feels as chief you would serve her and not your people.
Boone, I have been trained since childhood to rule my people.
Well, that may be, Katoga. But who was your teacher?
Luana will not want to come back.
Well, maybe we ought to leave that up to her. She's still Tedescon's daughter.
She will have forgotten by now.
If I dance one more step, I shall collapse.
Well, you should rest for just a moment. This won't be over for hours. Just one, William.
Thank you.
First, you must have one more dance with me, Pop.
Not on your life, my dear.
on,
Oh, no.
William.
As far as I'm
Please,
concerned,
please.
your engagement party is over.
William,
I've got to
please.
save my feet for the wedding.
Please.
Oh, there you are, Louise. For a minute, I thought you'd run off and eloped with somebody else, Mother.
Father, you must convince Father to dance with me again.
Oh, yes, one more.
I'll wait with you, boy. I shall dance only if I'm carried. Oh, stop that. That. Yes, Amos.
There's Mr. Boone here to see you, sir, and a companion.
Well, show them in, please.
Daniel Boone? Welcome. Why, it's been years, man.
About 15.
Welcome, Mr. Boone.
Mrs. Creighton.
And, your...
This is Katoga of the Delaware Nation.
How do you do? What brings you here after all these years?
Well, I hate to intrude on your party, but,
Excuse me, please. But I have to return to my guests.
well, I think you're the one I came to see. You're Luana, aren't you?
My name is Louise Creighton.
Oh, Amos, would you serve the refreshments, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And, oh, do please continue dancing. Perhaps we could go in here and talk for just a moment. Come on now. And would you, please? Now, darling, don't be foolish. You know that it was Mr. Boone who brought you to us. And you were called Luana when you were a small child.
Of course, Mother. I'm sorry. Why did you want to see me, Mr. Boone?
Well, your father sent me. He wants me to take you to him.
My father?
Come now, Daniel. You know the child's had only one father, me. She doesn't even remember Tedescan. What could he possibly want with her after all these years?
Tedescan is dying. He wants to see his only child before he dies. He wants her to take her rightful place as queen.
Queen?
Queen of what, for heaven's sakes?
Queen of the Delaware Nation.
Nonsense.
That's enough, Father. I'm sorry to hear Tedescan is ill. He's a great man, a fine leader. But believe me, Louise is no more fit to be Queen of the Delawares than I am to be King of Prussia.
Tell the worthy Tedescan that Miss Louise Creighton regrets her inability to attend him due to her imminent marriage.
You see, Mr. Boone, this is an engagement party. Louise and Farley are to be married in the spring.
I haven't heard anything from you yet, miss.
It's all so sudden and confusing. I don't even remember him. What would I say to him?
I don't think you'd find Titus Khan hard to talk to.
Mother,
I know. It's a hard decision. But you're going to have to make it for yourself. Oh, my dear daughter, I don't want you to go. But if you don't go, you may regret it later on.
Mother, I must say, I don't like the idea of Louise traipsing off into the wilderness with this. Oh, the whole idea is ridiculous.
Would there be any danger, Mr. Boone?
I can promise you she'll come to no harm.
I know I can trust you, sir. Louise will give you her decision in the morning.
If you decide to go, Louise, I'm going with you. But don't count on it, Mr. Boone. Come on, Louise.
Oh, Mr. Boone, you must be very tired after your long journey. I'll, Amos?
Yes, ma'am.
He'll show you to your room. And the,
Katoga.
Katoga.
Good night.
Good night. Elizabeth, I could use that drink.
Take the trunk, Amos.
Yes, sir, Mr. Farley.
Come back for these.
Yes.
My. Looks like you got enough clothes here to last you for a month, honey.
The bare minimum, Father. I haven't packed a single thing I won't absolutely need.
Well, you must take this one because it brings out the color of your eyes. And on a warm evening,
I'm afraid you all have the wrong idea. Luggage is out of the question. We're walking all the way. I think you'll find this better for traveling than anything you have in those valises. It was your mother's.
She can't possibly wear that.
It's very soft.
Delaware women have strong teeth
Strong teeth?
to chew the skins and make them soft.
We'll wear what we're wearing. Thank you. Unless... You sure you want to go, Louise?
Yes, I'm sure.
Was it necessary to be so rough?
Thank you.
1-1 gum.
What's that gibberish?
Well, that's Delaware for you're welcome. You may have noticed, Creighton, that it makes more sense sometimes to have a woman walk behind you.
Like a squaw?
Like a squaw. The Delawares, they're not like most tribes you've heard about. They stay pretty much in one place. The men hunt and fish, the women work in the fields. They're much like any other frontier people. They have a lot of pride, a lot of dignity. And their chief, Tedescan,
Pride and dignity, indeed.
You were saying, Mr. Boone?
You were telling us about the charms of the Delaware people.
well, now, Katoga's not really like that. He's just putting on a show for you.
Why, pray?
He's trying to scare you off
Scare me off. Why?
because he wants to be chief himself.
But I'm not going. I'm just going to visit.
Now, he really can't be sure of that. He thinks you might talk to Tedescan. Change your mind.
Eat some. Very good.
That's enough.
Delaware women do not waste food.
Nor should they, I'm sure. For they can't afford to. But Miss Creighton does waste food. She does not know how it has come by, nor does she care. She only knows that it is there and in excellent abundance, and that's all she need know. In short, she is a lady. But that's something you savages wouldn't understand. Come on, Louise, we're going home.
All right. Before you leave, I want to ask you a question first. Are you really all he thinks you are?
We were raised together, remember?
I'm talking to you.
I don't understand.
I think you do understand, but I can be more specific. Are you helpless, ignorant, in short, a lady? Is that all you are?
Whatever do you mean, all?
I think she knows what I mean, don't you?
I do know where food comes from, Farley.
Hard to believe, isn't it, Farley?
I don't know what you're trying to do, Boone, but my fiancée has had just about enough of it.
Your fiancée also happens to be Tedescan's daughter. Aren't you interested just a little bit in knowing what that means?
It means she's the daughter of a dirty, ignorant savage, which is something I shall always endeavor to overlook.
Don't trouble yourself.
Louise, I didn't mean it that way. Louise. We're to be married.
But only if we overlook certain things. Isn't that true?
Yes. I won't have a squaw for a wife.
Do you think you can overlook my parentage, Farley? Don't you see a certain family resemblance?
Louise, wait!
You stay here.
You'll dirty your hand.
I'm sorry I'm causing you a lot of trouble.
Yes, you are. I made a promise to. Well, how did Farley put it? A dirty, ignorant savage? But I plan on keeping it if I can. Luana, you can go on back with Farley, all right. But on his terms. As a dainty little doll who faints at the sight of a hunk of meat. Do you want that?
I don't know.
Could it be that you're ashamed of what you are? That you're pretending to be a fool so you can call yourself a lady?
I am ashamed. And I've always been ashamed.
Why, Luana? Because you don't know anything about Indians except what you've heard. You know, most people don't hate Indians. They pity them. They want to uplift them.
which pretty much means that they think they're inferior.
I suppose it does.
Take Katoga. Would anyone in their right senses dare pity him?
No.
No. Because he's proud of who he is and of what he is. And so should you be. You're the daughter of Tedescan, a great ruler of a proud people. Feeling inferior the way you do, you may not be worthy of him.
Mr. Boone,
Luana, you can do what you like with these. I'm tired of carrying them.
What the devil does this mean?
did you know my mother, Mr. Boone?
A long time ago.
Do I look like her?
Very much.
Do you intend to remain in those ridiculous garments?
They're quite comfortable. Will you teach me to speak Delaware, Katoga? I must have known it once, but I've forgotten. Have I done something wrong?
Well, in a way, you're more or less asking him to cut his own throat.
Because he wants to be chief.
That's right.
You didn't answer me, Katoga.
I will teach you.
Thank you.
That's too much. Come on, Louise, you're going home with me.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm going to see my father now. Please let me go.
Not until you stop this charade.
I think you better let her go.
Well, you stay out of this, Boone. You've caused enough trouble as it is.
There's nothing keeping you here.
Louise?
I'm sorry, Folly. It isn't the same anymore. Can't you see that?
What shall I say to our... to my parents?
Tell them, thank you very much for allowing me to make my own decision.
Welcome, my child. I did not think you could remember our language.
Katoga taught me a few words on the way.
Katoga? You must be a diplomat, my child.
Well, it could be, Titus Khan. I kind of think there's more to it than that.
She is very beautiful.
Like her mother.
Yeah. Yes, like her mother.
I'll be going.
Oh, no, wait. Tonight, there will be a council meeting, and then you may go with my thanks. And if there is no war among my people, it is because of what you have done.
War?
I'll wait.
Do you know why you were here?
He said you had died.
It is true. No. We won't talk of that. There's so little time. And we have very many more important things to talk about. Death and I have only been waiting for you, my child. Yeah. Sit beside me. Are you afraid of me?
No.
Then why do you weep?
I have two fathers, and I am losing them both.
That is hard. But what I will ask of you is harder still. Tell me, are you a person of strength and courage?
I don't know.
It is not proper to be modest with me.
Then yes, I am.
Then listen carefully, and I will explain.
I'll get some water.
How does she seem?
She's the daughter of a great chief.
Oh, Boone, I must ask you to do one more thing for my people.
Father!
I loved him too.
disturbs our council?
I am Lawana, daughter of Teduscan. I claim the right to sit with the council in place of my father.
You may sit. The council will begin.
In the name of the spirit of the feathered robe, I command the presence of the chief maker.
Who commands the presence of the chief maker?
Lawana, daughter of Teduscan, rightful queen of the Delaware nation.
All who accept this woman as queen must pay homage.
I demand the ancient trial of kings.
The right of Luana, daughter of Teduscan, has been challenged. One who cannot accept the challenge cannot rule. Is that not the law?
It is the law. Do you accept the challenge?
I accept.
Do you understand what the trial requires? That only the bravest may endure it?
Only the bravest is fit to rule.
It is your right to stand guard over the place of trial.
I will stand guard.
It is your right to choose one to stand guard with him.
I choose Daniel Boone.
Does Daniel Boone agree?
I agree.
So be it.
Withdraw the challenge. I do not understand you.
I did not expect her to accept the challenge. Perhaps she will not survive.
It is her business to withdraw. Or would you rather spend your life subject to a woman?
There are those that say I'm already subject to a woman and that you...
Speak up, my son. Say what is in your mind.
That you would rule through me and that you would make a war to show your power.
Do you believe this?
I do not know.
I have spent my life trying to win the feathered robe for you. Do you think I would steal it from your shoulders? Have I ever given you reason to distrust me? Answer me, my son.
No, my mother. No, you have not.
Well, then trust me now. You will be chief. Not slave to mother or queen, but chief. I promise you this.
Stop this, Katoga.
So can she.
This is the last moment when you can withdraw from the trial without losing honor.
Let the trial begin.
So be it.
She can't take anymore.
She need only loosen the thong.
I'm gonna take her down.
She must do it herself.
Stop it. Katoga is right. Let me alone. Please.
Stay with her. What are you doing here?
Do you not wish to be chief?
My mother sent you.
Just stay here. I will attend to Boone.
Go back and tell her not to interfere.
Katoga, are you all right?
I'm only paying homage to my queen. You would be proud.
It's because of you that I was able to do it.
Perhaps. I've come to say goodbye. I'm leaving with Daniel Boone.
Why? Is it because of your mother? The council said she need not go, only that she no longer be chief maker.
For her, that will be worse. No, I'm leaving because I will not be chief. I've sworn this to myself.
Isn't there another way, Katoga? Must a queen rule alone?
You're very bold.
I keep surprising myself.
I know you're skulking out there in the dark. Why didn't you just walk in on your hind legs like a man?
I didn't want anyone to follow me here from Boonesboro.
Well, that's admirable. But anyone not welcome would have been dead before he got 2 paces past my first sentry. And now, the information that you promised me?
What about my $100?
Well, you get it. If what you tell me is worth it.
How do I know you'll pay?
I guess you'll just have to trust me.
But I...
No buts, Mr. Fargo.
It's just that I've never done anything like this before. If it weren't that my sister was a bonded servant,
Your personal problems bore me, Mr. Fargo.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's a shipment of arms and ammunition.
How big a shipment?
A full wagon load.
And where and when?
Look, you said if it was worth it. Well, you can see it is.
Not until I know I can get my hands on it.
Daniel Boone and his Indian friend are on their way to Salem Station to take delivery.
Just the two of them?
As far as I know.
They can't be so stupid as to try to transport such a valuable prize without protection. Corbin! Looty! Mr. Amos Fargo will be our guest for a while.
Mr. Decker, I gave you the information you wanted. Give me my money and just leave me alone.
I just naturally don't trust you, Mr. Fargo. But when I get my hands on that cargo, you'll get your 30 pieces of silver.
30 pieces?
It's the established price for selling out a friend.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the ripidest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Well, you've got 2 cracked spokes in that wheel, mister. I could wrap them with rawhide so they'd last a while, but if I were you, I'd get new spokes put in.
Well, how long would that take?
Well, they've got to be made. I'd say 3-4 days.
That's utterly out of the question.
Now, Martha, I'm sure this young man knows his business.
He doesn't know ours. We can't spare the time.
That's up to you, ma'am. But I sure wouldn't start out over the wilderness road with a wheel like this. One good bump and...
Just wrap the wheel, young man.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrew.
Daniel Boone.
Been quite a spell. You remember Mingo?
Sure. But what you two doing in Salem Station?
Oh, not much. We just here. Anybody been asking for us?
Not around here, Daniel.
Young man, we're in a hurry.
Daniel, no one knows the road to Boonesboro better than you. So would you tell this lady that wrapping those spokes won't be good enough?
Ma'am, if I were you, I'd take Andrew's word for it and get that wheel fixed proper.
I didn't ask for your advice.
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Pardon me, Mr. Boone.
Yes, miss?
My name is Susan Fargo. I'm on my way to Boonesboro to join my brother.
Well, that'd be Amos Fargo. He's talked about you.
He has?
Well, hardly anything else. He's told me about trying to get money to...
Oh, it's all right. I'm not an indentured servant any longer. Poor Amos. He scrimped and saved for so long to set me free, and now my master has just died, and in his will he gave me my freedom.
Then Amos doesn't know you're coming?
No, I want it to be a surprise.
Well, that certainly will be a surprise to him.
It's a long way to Boonesboro.
Well, I'm traveling with the Wymans. According to his will, they're to see that I reach Boonesboro safely.
Young man, are you just going to stand there gaping all day?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Boone, how soon will you be returning to Boonesboro?
I don't know, ma'am. Why?
Perhaps we could strike a bargain. I might be willing to pay you to guide us and see to it we get there safely.
I'm sorry, I'm not for hire.
Oh, I'll make it worth your while. I'll pay you $15 for your trouble.
Yes, well, I must be getting back to the tavern, ladies.
Well, I couldn't do that. Not this time. We'll look forward to seeing you back in Boonesboro.
I don't wish to haggle, Mr. Boone. I'll make it 25.
I'm sorry. Andrew, if anybody's looking for me, I'll be in the tavern.
You are a greedy man, Mr. Boone. All right, I'll make it 35.
I still think you ought to get that wheel fixed.
Savages and peasants. I can abide neither. Such impertinence.
But it appeared to me that he was just thinking of our safety,
Oh,
Martha.
you're always such a fool about people. Young man, can't you hurry up with that wheel?
Well, Donald.
Great deal, Daniel. Thanks a lot.
It's been almost a year, hasn't it?
Sure has, and don't you ever do that to me again.
Yeah, the months go by so fast, you can't tell what's going to happen. There's a table in the back room. I'll bring the ale.
Don't forget the food. Oh, it's still warm.
Sit over here, Daniel. There you are. I reckon you're here about that shipment of arms and ammunition.
Apparently there aren't any secrets in these parts either.
Well, don't fret about it. I'm the only one in town who knew it was coming, because I knew you was coming, too. That shipment's due today.
Well, Nathan, since you're so well informed, maybe you can tell us whether or not we're going to have a military escort.
Well, you can call it military if you like. Just going to be a bunch of farmers with uniforms about as makeshift as their training.
How many?
Well, there was 8 enlisted men under command of Captain Harper.
Harper.
After eating jerky for 3 days, I'd almost forgotten what food tastes like.
You're a disgrace to the American Indian, Mingo. Your ancestors used to live for weeks at a time on nothing but jerky.
Yes, well, only half my ancestors. The other half were very partial to good roast beef and cheese and ale.
See, you are feeling better.
If I could get a night's sleep, I'd almost feel human.
You better get it right now. If that shipment gets here, we're going to have to start back right away.
In that case, I'm going to pray that it doesn't arrive until noon tomorrow.
Captain Harper, he's here.
Never before have my prayers gone unanswered so quickly.
Cheer up, Mingo. You can sleep in the back of the wagon.
Yes, and a nice downy bed of muskets and rifles.
Captain Harper is Daniel Boone.
Mr. Boone, glad you could make it. Captain, perhaps we better discuss our business outside.
I think it'd be more private in here.
He may understand English.
Oh, I do, Captain. As a matter of fact, I like to think that I speak it fairly well.
Captain Harper, my good friend Mingo.
Well, you certainly look like an Indian.
For good reason. I'm half Cherokee.
Raised and educated in London. Sit down.
Won't you join us in an ale, Captain?
I'd love to. It's been a long and dusty ride. Mr. Boone, how many men do you have with you, sir?
Well, Mingo's my entire command, Captain.
You mean the two of you are going to try to get this shipment of arms through by yourselves?
Well, we sort of figured on a little help from you.
Well, I was told to deliver the wagon here, and that's all. My men are most anxious to return to the farms. As a matter of fact, so am I.
Captain, is there anything in your orders that specifically forbids you to escort the wagon all the way to Boonesboro?
Well, no, not specifically. But you must understand, my men are farmers, not soldiers.
Captain,
With the British giving rifles to the Indians, the lives of all the settlers on the frontier may well hinge on our getting this wagon through.
We all have a stake in the frontier. Very well, gentlemen. You have yourselves an escort.
I'll drink to that.
To a safe and peaceful journey.
Mount up, boys. We're ready, Mr. Boone. I'd like to ride out of here quietly while folks around here are still asleep.
Right.
I hope they're not rushing on my account. I won't be awake for at least another hour.
Get up there. Take a look up there.
Oh, no. Stubbornness and stupidity are blood brothers.
Never mind your ancient Indian proverbs.
The last thing in the world we need is excess baggage, and particularly that female. Now, Daniel, you did your level best to warn them to get the wheel fixed properly. I suggest we just close our eyes and go peacefully on our way.
You wouldn't do a thing like that, would you, Mingo?
I'm sorely tempted.
At last, somebody's coming. Come on, John, get our things together. Hurry up.
Why, I declare it's Mr. Boone. It's Mr. Boone.
Miss Fargo?
Hello. Mr. Boone,
Hello, Miss Fargo.
I hope you can help us. We seem to have lost a wheel.
Well, it's about time you came along. That friend of yours is going to get a piece of my mind, Mr. Boone. The first little jostle and the whole wheel falls apart.
Ma'am, if I recall, he tried to warn you.
Getting us stranded out here in this wilderness, 2 women, and a poor excuse for a man. Heaven knows what could have happened to us. Well, don't just stand there. Help us load our things into your wagon.
We seem to be causing you a great deal of trouble, Mr. Boone.
Oh, it's not your fault,
Come along,
Miss Fargo.
Mr. Boone. Do you think this could be some kind of a trap?
No, I don't think so, Captain. We saw them in town yesterday, and we know they're en route to Boonesboro, too.
Well, I certainly don't like the idea of them riding along with us. It's bound to slow us down. We've got enough on our hands with that cargo.
Well, I don't like it either, but we can't move this wagon until we get that wheel fixed, and we can't leave them out here, no telling when another wagon will come along.
Very well, Mr. Boone. It's your decision.
I figure we'll unload this, and we'll get that wheel off, and we'll be on our
It's all because
way.
of your greed, Mr. Boone. If you'd accepted a fair price to guide us, none of this would have happened.
Daniel, would you mind?
And if you think you're going to get paid 1 penny, you're sadly mistaken. It'll take all our money just to get that wheel fixed and pay our expenses while we're delayed. And one thing more, what are those soldier boys doing following us?
Well, ma'am, those soldier boys just might save your scalp before we get back to Kentucky.
What exactly do you mean by that? Mr. Boone. Mr. Boone, wait a minute. Mr. Boone, do you hear me? Mr. Boone, I'm talking to you. I demand an explanation.
I might mean that we're carrying arms and ammunition in this wagon that a lot of people would like to have, including the Indians.
Indians?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean we're in danger and you're deliberately compromising our safety by taking us with you? We'll be much better off right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready to ride, men.
Ready, Daniel?
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'd begun to wonder what had happened to you.
I had to talk to you to take a long way around so I could pass those soldiers on the road.
Soldiers? What soldiers?
Captain and 8 men riding escort to that wagon.
Well, that's 9 soldiers plus Boone and the Indian.
They're 11 to our 9. You know, I don't fancy those odds.
No. But would you fancy our 9 to their 2? All we have to do is convince those soldier boys that they're needed at home.
How do you do that?
Fargo, how long have you been living in Boonesboro?
3 years.
And Boone thinks of you as an honest, upright citizen?
What are you getting at?
Well, if you told him something, he'd believe you.
Believe what? Now, listen, I'm in this too deep already.
Well, you still do want that $100. And you'll get it, but, you're going to have to earn it.
I told you I'm not going to be part of any killing. I'm not going to do anything.
You'll do it. And you'll do it convincingly. Or you will be part of a killing.
Mrs. Wyman, I wanted to thank you. That food was delicious.
Thank you, Mingo.
That does it, Mr. Boone. Livestock's been watered, all the wheels greased. Continued good luck, we'll be in Boonesboro this time tomorrow evening.
Well, I'm going to be happy till we roll through the gates of the fort with our cargo and skins intact.
Mr. Boone, about our wagon. As soon as we've delivered Miss Fargo to her brother in Boonesboro, we'll be anxious to get back to Boston.
We have a good wheelwright in Boonesboro. He'll have your wheel rolling soon.
You mean he'd travel way out where we left the wagon just to fix a wheel?
That's right.
My. In the city, a man can't depend on anyone but himself.
I suppose you're right, but it'd be a sad day out here when neighbors won't help each other in time of trouble.
Things are so much more simple here. A man knows his place more clearly.
Captain.
Daniel, I'm mighty glad I run into you. Everybody's got to load up and move out right now.
Hold on a minute, Amos.
Mr. Boone, who is this man?
Amos Fargo, friend from Boonesboro. What is it?
Everything. There's no time for making overnight stops with the cargo you're carrying. The British are moving out of Fort 96 and marching into the valley.
Well, Captain, that's where my farm is. I gotta get to my family.
My home's in that valley, too, Captain.
Right, everyone's in. Right?
That means Boonesboro's in danger, too. With the Indian tribes to the west house in the pay of the British.
Well, how'd you learn about this, Amos?
A courier rode through Boonesboro. He wanted every able-bodied man we could spare to make a stand against the Redcoats, but nobody's moving until you give the say-so.
Mr. Boone, I know I promised you an escort. This changes things considerably. I recognize the importance of this cargo to secure our flank on the frontier, but...
Well, I understand, Captain. Everybody has a desire to protect their own.
Good luck to you, Mr. Boone.
Captain.
Sergeant. Yes, sir. Break camp. We're heading for home. Get these men mounted. You 3 men are dismissed.
All right, men. Let's go. Man up. Dig out, man.
Daniel, has it occurred to you that that courier may be a British trick to draw the soldiers off?
To make it easier for someone to capture our cargo, it has. The British or anyone else with an eye for our precious arms and ammunition. A trick or not, we haven't a right to keep those soldiers, even if we could.
Oh, it didn't appear to me that he was lying. I suppose he could have been, though.
Well, either way, Amos, you had no way of knowing you did the right thing.
Well, in any case, we'd best make the most of what we have and prepare for the worst.
Well, I think the 3 of us can make a pretty good showing with all the rifles we have if we have to.
The 3 of us? I figured I'd going back to the fort with word from you, Daniel.
Well, I reckon they will be anxious, all right, but they're just going to have to wait.
Think you can drive this wagon, Amos?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
If there is anyone out there waiting to attack us, they'll have an easier time of it at night.
Yes. And with the soldiers gone, we'll be like sitting ducks here.
There's a fair-sized cave up here in the hills not too far away if we can make it before dark.
Well, the wagon's all hitched.
Mr. Boone! Goodbye to you, sir.
Bye, Captain Harper. Oh, Captain, how long will it take you to get back to your home?
Oh, 4 or 5 hours forced ride if these horses hold out.
Well, it struck us that this just might be a trick. Make the wagon that much easier to capture.
I guess that could be possible. I don't see how I can take the chance that it isn't. If I were the only one concerned.
Well, of course not. But if you do find it as a...
I'll lead a fresh company of soldiers back here personally.
We'd appreciate that.
Goodbye again, Mr. Boone.
Five hours there, 5 hours back. I doubt there'd be any of us left to appreciate anything.
I'd feel a lot better if we 3 were the only ones. Oh, by golly, Amos, I almost forgot. We got a surprise for you.
Surprise?
Susan?
Amos! Oh, you poor dear. I wanted to surprise you, but you look as though you'd seen a ghost.
What are you doing here?
I'm free, Amos.
But you were going back to England with Mr. Wingate unless we could save $300 to buy you freedom.
Yes, that's the way it was.
I already saved $200, but I could...
I know. But Mr. Wingate died, and in his will he gave me my freedom.
Then I don't need the other $100.
No. I'm free, Amos. I'm free.
Boss, your plan worked just like a charm. Didn't take those soldier boys 2 minutes to skedaddle out of there.
Could be a decoy move.
No. I trailed them for 3-4 miles. They ain't going nowhere but home.
No, it still bothers me. Oh, Boone doesn't fool that easily.
Oh.
What about Boone, Ludi? That man ain't stupid. As soon as the soldiers left, he started breaking camp.
Well, that's perfect. Picking them off on the trail in the dark is going to make it real simple.
He headed right for that cave up on the Porcupine.
Oh. No doubt figuring to ford up there until morning.
Well, that makes it easier. We'll have him caught up there just like a possum up a tree. Now, it stands to reason they haven't got enough food or water to hold out very long.
Yeah, but long enough for that captain to find out that he's on a wild goose chase and then come back here to find out why.
Why don't we take him now?
That may require a bit of taking. Since he's decided to hole up in there, he must be smelling something in the wind. And then with all of those guns, gentlemen, Boone and the Indian could put up quite a battle.
Then there's that other man and the 2 women with him.
2 women and a man? You didn't mention that, Corbin.
Well, they weren't traveling with him when they left the Salem station. Changes the odds again, huh?
It does that, but perhaps to our advantage. Those 2 women could get in his way.
Yeah, and Fargo's in there with him. Maybe he can get the drop on Boone when we attack.
Yeah. One of the cardinal rules for men in our trade, gentlemen, is never put your trust in an informer.
Yeah.
However, Fargo or no, I'd say that we have Mr. Boone precisely where we want him. All right, get your horses, gentlemen. We're going to pay a call on Mr. Boone.
Put the powder in the cave. We'll use the heavy stuff to build a barricade.
Daniel?
All finished.
Not too soon. Someone's out there.
Be Decker. I'd rather be waiting for Indians or redcoats.
Oh, locked in with a room full of angry rattlers, for that matter.
Those fires will keep him at bay for a while. He won't risk his skin unless he has to.
He knows they won't last all night. And if we move out to feed those fires...
Pick us off with pleasure.
Traitor. Because of your greed and stupidity, we all may die.
Now, Martha, there's no good in it.
Yes, there is. And if there's any chance at all of stopping those cutthroats, he's the one to do it.
You leave him alone.
Leave him alone? Maybe I should thank him.
She's right, Susan. I'm responsible. If there were only some way to stop them.
There is. There is.
No, Martha.
You just keep out of this.
No!
Susan!
No!
Now listen. There's no other way. And there's no one else to do it.
Let him go.
God, he's going to try to kill Decker.
That started, and Mrs. Wyman has started it. She's as good as killed Amos.
Now, Mr. Fargo. Now, where do you think you're going?
I gotta see Decker.
All right, go.
Fargo, come for your blood money.
I want to talk to you in private.
Gentlemen, Mr. Fargo wants to talk in private. Now, Woody. Well, you've earned your $100.
Boone knows you're coming after the wagon. He's ready and waiting.
And how does he know that?
I told him.
And then you came back here?
He picked up some people on the trail.
There's a man and two women.
One of those women is my sister.
Oh, I see. Well, that is too bad. Why didn't you bring her out with you?
She didn't want to come.
Well, that was foolish of her, wasn't it?
I don't want anything to happen to her, Decker.
Of all the things in this world, what you want, Mr. Fargo, matters the very least. Your, 30 pieces of silver, Judas.
I didn't come for your money, Decker.
And how far do you think you'd get after you fired that?
After I shoot you, I don't care.
No, I think you really mean that. But you're going to have to shoot me in the back.
What difference? I die either way.
Now, that's a very sound argument. In that case, I suppose I'm going to have to deal with you. I'll tell you what, Mr. Fargo. Some people never learn. You can't beat a man at his own trade.
Not yet.
I think I'll stash a few of these rifles in the cave just in case. Can either of you two use a rifle?
I haven't fired one in quite some time.
Well, all you gotta do, cock it, aim it, and pull the trigger.
Are you asking us to help in the defense of your cargo?
No, ma'am, not my cargo, your lives.
Well, we have no quarrel with that man out there. If you want to fight him, you can just fight him yourself.
Why don't you give him the arms, Mr. Boone? Are they worth your life?
It's not just my life, Mr. Wyman. It's the lives of all the settlers on this frontier.
That's what you say. I don't believe you.
Well, I don't have time to convince you, but you better be ready to use this.
Mr. Boone, I'm a pretty good shot with a rifle. I'd like to offer my help.
Thank you, Susan.
Daniel.
What do you make of it? Well, I doubt that he's coming to tea.
Digger! What do you want? A talk. Perhaps we can strike a bargain.
I doubt that.
I'm alone and unarmed, Boone.
I doubt that, too.
Come on out where we can talk.
I can hear you just fine from where I am.
Eh? I told you he was too smart.
All right, Boone. No more cat and mouse. I've got 8 rifles looking down your throat. When this fire burns down, we're coming in after you. Boone, if the lives of those women in there mean anything to you, you'll come out now. The only thing that interests me is this wagon load of arms, nothing else. All right. If you give yourselves up peaceably now, you'll all be free to go. Well, that's my proposition. Well, any questions?
Just one. How do you figure on getting back?
Boone, this is a flag of truce.
Well, now, I admit it looks like one, and if anybody but you were carrying it, I'd believe it.
Daniel, you rascal.
Now, you just keep coming in a straight line between me and your boys out there, or I'll have to pull this trigger. Slowly.
All right, Boone. My men are still out there. When those fires burn down, they're coming and get you. All of you.
Well, there'll just be one less rifle fired. Now it's time up, Mingo.
Now you've done it. Now none of us will live.
That's right, ma'am. My boys aren't going to like this at all.
Where's my brother? Where's Amos?
He's dead. Now, all of you are going to have to die, too.
All right, Dicker.
You fool. You stupid, stupid fool!
Mr. Wyman, I'd appreciate it if you'd keep your wife under control.
Martha, please. We'd better go inside the cave.
Miss Fargo, I'm sorry.
just hope it works, Daniel. If it doesn't, it's likely there'll be too many of them for us. Well, they'll pay the price for what they get. Miss Fargo, feel up to helping us?
I want to.
I give you the word. Easy. Sorry. Pull on these as hard as you can. But not until then.
Any minute now.
We're gonna fan out. Don't charge till I give the word.
You heard what I told Boone. The only thing that interests me is that wagon load of arms. I'd rather see no one die for it. But Boone, well, he'd sacrifice you all just to protect his precious guns. You know, when that fire burns down, and it's due to any time, my men are going to attack, and unfortunately, they're not going to be particular who gets killed. Of course, if I could just get out there to talk to them, all you have to do is cut me loose, and then let me take that gun, so I can get the drop on those two out there, and well, then I could protect any killing.
Don't listen to him, Martha. He'll say anything to get free.
Don't you see? We're in the same position, you and I.
You give us your word. You just take that wagon and go.
Yes, ma'am. Not a shot would be fired.
His word is no good, Martha. He's an outlaw.
Oh, sir, that's where you're wrong. I'm an agent for the British government. They're trying to stop this rebellion. The fact is, I'm being paid to prevent killing.
Maybe he's lying. Maybe he isn't. But if we don't free him, we'll certainly all die when his men attack.
There goes the fire, Daniel. Well, we can expect him any time now.
It's time. No. Let him sweat first. They'll be shooting at shadows.
It's so quiet out there.
Shh. They're coming before the storm.
I suppose you've waited like this many times before. Does it always seem so long?
Don't move an ounce, Boone. Guns down, both of you. Nice and easy.
You see, he could have fired the gun. He was telling the truth.
Could have fired once.
Corman! Bring the men in! We're gonna have ourselves a turkey shoot!
Let's load the rifles.
Prepare to pull the strings, Susan.
Moody! Joe!
Come on, Susan.
expect us to go along with you in this terribly dangerous territory?
Martha.
We could all be killed.
Martha, be quiet. Just for once, be quiet. Now get inside and get your things together.
Yes, John. Yes, John.
What?
Well, it seems tonight the lamb has turned into a lion.
Mr. Boone?
Give up on me, miss. You won't be able to save me for the hangman. I'll die here.
She seems very upset. I guess she never shot anybody before. That girl, she's Fargo's sister.
That's right.
It's very poetic. Boone.
My horse has been stolen by Indians. I think they're still following me. Isn't there a settlement nearby? Can you hear me? I know. I've startled you. Coming up on you quickly in the night this way. Oh, but you won't hurt me. I know that. It's just that I'm lost and I wouldn't hurt you or your master. I'm lost and I'm very hungry and
It's me! Now open up before I kick the door down!
Jody.
Dan? Who was it?
Jody.
Jody Brown? Well, what did he... What on earth?
Brought us a visitor.
Oh, bring her in here.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the ripidest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Did she talk any?
No. She's not from these parts, though. Her dress is town bought. What's left of it, anyway?
The mystery to me is how Jody Brown happened to bring her here.
I wish I got a look at him.
You know, she isn't really hurt outside of some bruises. But I've never seen anyone so worn out.
Well, I guess I'd best go talk to Jody.
Can I go with you, Pop? It won't take me long to get dressed.
You stay right here. I don't suppose I can talk you out of it.
Now, Becky, I've got to find out what happened to her, where she came from.
I know. But Jody's more likely to set his dog on you than talk. Now, you could wait and let her tell you.
Well, there may be other people who need help. You know, Becky, it just don't make sense. Strange woman out here all by herself.
But why can't I go with you?
Because your ma said no, and she's right.
But I've never seen a hermit. Cincinnati says nobody's seen Jody Brown up close for years. Henry Carter says he looks like a wolf, fangs and all. He sleeps all day and sits up all night. And he lives on snake meat. And you know that he's as mean as a...
Israel!
Now, son, you know better than to carry gossip, and especially the kind Henry Carter puts out. Jody Brown does not have fangs, and I doubt very much if he has an appetite for snake meat. And the way he lives, well, that's his own choosing, and he's got a right to it.
I just wanted to look at him, that's all.
I understand, son. And I hope you will someday. I hope we all will. That's got to be Jody's decision.
Why do you suppose Jody Brown sleeps in that little hut and won't let anybody near him?
Oh, I think, dear, because he feels he can't face up to people.
Because he's so ugly?
No. He wasn't always the way he is now. As I recall, he was a fine-looking man.
What happened?
A Shawnee raiding party attacked his cabin and killed his wife. Jody wasn't home. Your pa told him that he couldn't have done anything to save her. But Jody wouldn't listen. So he crawled into that cabin and shut himself away from all of us. He didn't even take the arrows out of the walls or fix the gash in the roof they'd made. That was 3 years ago.
Jody! Jody Brown! Jody, it's Daniel Boone. I've got to talk to you.
What have you got to then but make it fast?
Can't you temper this hound some?
Fast, I said.
Jody, you know I wouldn't come out here less than I had to. Now, what happened last night? Where did that woman come from?
I can't say.
Can't? Or won't?
Can't say because I don't know.
Well, you brought her to my cabin. Where did you find her?
I didn't find her. She just turned up.
Jody, you shut yourself off out here, and whether I like it or not, I've got to respect it. You've hurt no one but yourself, up to now. Now, will you please tell me what happened?
She came out of the wood yonder. It was just before first light, it was. The hound set to hollering and woke me up. I sure didn't have any idea it was a woman. Said she was lost. And then she kept right on coming. Up to here. By the time I got outside, she passed out.
Well, did you see anyone else around? Was she alone?
Not as far as I know. I didn't look for anyone. I just carried her directly to your place. And that's all there was to it.
Well, how did she get that far without your hound jumping her?
I don't know. I can't make sense of it. The dog, he just... I don't know.
be resting comfortably.
Did you see Jody, Pa?
Yeah, I did.
Well, what do you have to say?
Well, he told me all he knew. Which is much more than we already knew.
Well, I wouldn't plague her with questions, Dan, until she's stronger.
Oh, it's perfectly all right.
Oh, here, let me help you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's mighty nice seeing you look so chipper.
Oh, yes. I can imagine how chipper I look. Mr.
Boone. Daniel Boone.
Was it your cabin I came to last night, Mr. Boone?
Yes, eventually. But it's a long story, and Becky's right. You shouldn't do much talking for a while. Only thing I'd appreciate knowing was there anyone with you? Someone else who might be in trouble?
No, Mr. Boone. I was alone.
Daniel Boone! Daniel Boone!
Well, they're Creeks, aren't they?
I know one of them. He's the chief's eldest son. I'm going out there and talk to him. You keep an eye on the conversation.
Mom? What's wrong?
Not a thing, Israel. Set the table, please.
It is good to see Daniel Boone once again.
Well, Daniel Boone is honored that you think so. Tachi, how have you been?
Well, this brave is called Kaweta.
Welcome. Would you like to come inside for some hot food?
We cannot stay. We came only to return the horse to its owner.
I don't think offhand that I've ever seen this horse before.
3 days ago, we saw a woman riding on this horse. She was afraid of us and rode away fast. She was torn from the saddle by a tree branch. We tried to help, but she ran. We did not want you to think we had stolen the horse.
Oh, I would never have thought that. And I want to thank you for all the trouble you've gone to. Tachi, I thought most of the Braves are still on the winter hunt.
It is true. Kawita and I were called back from the hunt by my father.
Some kind of trouble?
The kind of trouble that comes when the young men are away. A wild beast has been attacking our village. 3 of our tribe have been killed.
What kind of beast?
So far, I've seen only his tracks. It is a cat of some sort, a large one. We will catch and kill him and then return to the hunt for food.
Well, Tachi, I've seen you track off enough to know that you don't need my help. If there's anything I can do, I'd be pleased.
Thank you.
Oh.
Come eat while it's hot.
Oh, is something wrong?
No, not a thing. Except my husband seems to have ended up with a horse.
Oh.
This look familiar?
Oh, who brought it?
Creek Braves. They brought your horse, too.
Indians?
Did you ever run in with the Indians?
Oh, let the girl eat, both of you.
Let's all eat.
I've spent most of my life in the company of these 2 books. Meals included. The Bible and the New England Primer.
You're from New England?
Yes, Israel, Connecticut.
What's a primer?
Israel, not now.
No, it's all right. A primer, Israel, is the Bible of the classroom. I'm a school teacher by profession.
A school teacher? The school teacher's what everybody in Boonesboro wishes for most.
Really?
Well, almost everybody.
Please. You're very kind people. All of you. I'm not used to such.
Beats me how anybody can be scared of Indians and not scared of Jody Brown's dog.
Of what?
We'll discuss it later.
I never hope to see this horse again. In all truth, Mr. Boone, I never even hoped to see the light of day. I've been spared, and I can't think why.
Well, you could have been spared a great deal of trouble if you hadn't run from the Indians. You must have been wandering in these woods for at least a couple of days.
But I still don't understand. I was told that Indians would kill me and steal what little I had.
Well, in time of war, they might. But we happen to be at peace with the Creeks. Of course, you had no way of knowing that.
Well, I should have. I can see now. I was wrong to believe the judgment of others. If we treat each other as if we were always at war, we might all wander in the woods forever. Oh, I'm sorry for the lecture. That's a bad habit of mine.
Faith, how'd you happen to be riding the wilderness trail all by yourself?
Well, I was part of a wagon caravan going to Virginia. But there was some trouble. Oh, it was just a misunderstanding, really. But they chose to think otherwise. Well, one of the men was kind enough to set me on the trail to Boonesboro. I hope perhaps I could make a place for myself.
Well, a lot of us here have done just that.
Mr. Boone.
Daniel.
Oh, thank you. Do you suppose someone in your settlement could use a good horse?
Well, there's always someone.
You mentioned Cincinnatus.
Yes, he's a friend of mine. I thought maybe I'd speak to him about a room for you, if you're sure you won't stay with us a while longer.
Oh, I'm sure. Perhaps when you go to the fort, you could see the horse gets a good master.
Let me see what I can do.
Oh, Mr. Boone. Daniel, when you mount him, be careful of his ribs. They're bruised, and he kicks if you dig your knee in too hard. Well, the men in the wagon caravan didn't understand that. They thought he was off his head. They were going to shoot him. They let me have him instead.
Oh, it's lucky you know something about horses.
Well, I'd never been on one before in my life.
Well, then how did you...
Well, I just seemed to sense it. Oh, you fool. Now, why did you tell him that?
The cat
doth. The cat doth play, and after slay. Doth. It's just a different word for saying does. Well, go on, Israel. You're doing very well.
The dog will bite a thief at night. Miss Faith, was Jody Brown's dog asleep when you got there the other night?
No. But then I wasn't a thief, was I?
Israel, what comes after the letter D?
E. Cincinnati says he's a hermit, and Henry Carter says he sleeps all day and sits up all night. But Pa says I oughtn't to carry tales.
Well, your pa's right.
Israel, you're supposed to be showing Miss Faith how well you can read. Shorty knows what a busybody you are.
A boy with no curiosity makes a poor student. From what I can see, Israel is an excellent one. You're very lucky, Rebecca.
Thank you, Faith. Just wish you'd waited till the boy was out of the room to say that.
Oh, if you two ladies would like to talk, I'd be happy to leave.
Well, I haven't got a bell to ring, but school's out for the day, Israel.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Yes, you're very lucky, Rebecca. This man, Jody Brown, I think I ought to go and tell him how grateful I am.
Jody's not the kind of man to accept someone's gratitude.
It must be lonely for him. Where does he live?
Faith, Dan's tried. Everyone's tried.
Yes, but I really think I should.
As if the cat had the mind of a human. I've hunted many cats, but never one that could see through brush as thick as that. The cat cannot be killed at close range, Father. Today I will journey to the fort and trade for rifles, then I will hunt him again.
You have not told your father everything. It's wise not to alarm the very old. But I am young enough to hear. Tell me, what else about the cat?
He is black.
As I thought.
But he is still only a cat. He can be killed like any other.
It may be that you are right. But how many black cats has Tachi ever hunted before? Or even seen before?
I have heard.
I have seen. We will hunt it together.
Mr. Brown!
Go away!
Can you tell me what's wrong? Are you sick? Are you hurt? Oh, you're burning hot as a stove. Got a room, I guess. Worse, maybe. I'll be back soon.
That's the woman old Jody Brown slung on Daniel Boone's doorstep.
Mr. Cincinnatus.
That's his place right there.
Oh,
My name's Henry Carter.
how do you do? Oh, yes, the Boones speak of you often.
That right.
My name is...
Somebody get a rifle.
He must have followed me in. Now go on back. Your master's sick and he shouldn't be left alone. Go on. Oh, all right. I won't be long. He won't hurt you. Now you sit right there and wait. Oh, Mr. Cincinnatus,
Now, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Your faith Griswold, right? Daniel said you wasn't coming in till tomorrow.
Oh, well, how do you do?
know.
Do you have any snake root?
I beg your pardon?
Snake root. It's an herb.
Snake root. Well, now, take a look.
Oh, please do.
I couldn't interest you in just a plain mug of coffee, could I?
Oh, it isn't for me. Jody Brown's got a fever.
Jody Brown?
Yes. And while you're looking, I'll need some molasses and some India rum.
India rum, I could use a drop of that myself.
Can't be Jody's hound. Just a look-alike. Great suffering devils. She's gone and tamed that beast. Seen this sort of thing before. It's called animal magnetism. Ain't more than a dozen people in the whole world got it. But when they do, ain't a beast in creation can touch them.
It's all right, Mr. Brown.
Who are you?
I'm the woman you carried to the Boones that night. I came back to thank you for your kindness. Now, swallow this down.
Why?
Do you know what a virulent throat is?
If you don't get out of here,
A virulent throat is caused by a high fever, and you've got both. Now, swallow this down, then you can lie back. Go on.
I'm not going to hell. That tastes awful!
Yes, I know. I wouldn't give you that if I could find anything better. This place looks like a battlefield. things. Sit down.
Dan?
Creeks want to have a talk.
When?
They want to talk right now.
We ask favor of Daniel Boone. Without his help, we are in grave danger. Tachi has already told you of the great panther who walks in these woods.
He has. He is black. He has killed 4 times. I have not caught him.
You will.
No! Daniel Boone, you must listen. Our chief, in his wisdom, has decreed that we make peace with the animal.
I don't quite understand.
The wild man who lives near the fort, Jody Brown, has made a great mistake. It has cost us 4 lives. But we wish peace. We ask Daniel Boone to talk to this man. Tell him that his wife did not die at the hand of the Creeks, but of the Shawnee.
But he knows that.
Then why does he bring a witch to this country to destroy our tribe with a devil cat? We have seen her enter his home. We have seen her talk to his wild dog as though it were a child. We have seen her clear the arrows from the wall. We ask you, in friendship, tell this man that we share his grief for his wife. Tell him that we wish him well, but tell him that he must send the witch and the devil cat to take revenge upon the Shawnee and trouble us no further.
I wish no quarrel with the council. But that woman is not a witch. And that cat is not a devil. We should all hunt him together. That is my answer.
Daniel Boone has listened. We have listened. The council is over.
Perhaps all this will seem foolish by daylight. I hope so.
You again. Me again? You've been a very sick man, Mr. Brown. It's a wonder to me you survived such a fever. Thank the Lord, it broke last night. You've been resting easy all the morning.
You had no call to come here.
Well, that may be true, but I did. I couldn't leave you to die here.
It would have been a blessing.
Now, that is a sinful thing to say, Jody Brown.
For a little old slip of a woman, you talk mighty loud.
Well, temper's a good sign. You're getting back your strength. Oh, dear.
Woman wasn't born that could make a fire burn proper.
Man wasn't born that couldn't. The trouble with this fire is the only one that's at least trying to make it burn is a woman.
No fire. Draw, right? Lesson has 3 good logs.
Oh, I'll try to remember that, Mr. Brown. Cincinnatus and Daniel and any number of your friends have asked about you. I'm sure you know they want you to come back to them.
Don't you sermonize. And don't you feel sorry for me.
Oh, I don't. I envy you. Your people want you. You belong somewhere. You have a place to go. I was cast out of my home, my town. There was a petition.
I don't want to hear about it.
Well, there's nobody else I can talk to who would understand. The petition said, blighted, profane, unblessed, born evil. All because I have a way with animals. There was a fox in my town and a horse in the wagon caravan and now your dog. Suddenly, people that had known me declared that I was unfit to teach little children. Well, I don't know why animals don't hurt me. I just wish I had that kind of a way with people. Oh, I have no right to bore you with my troubles. Well, now that you can do for yourself, I'll let you be.
You won't be coming back again, will you? What's your name?
Faith. God bless you. Goodbye.
Claude, if I live to be 109, I'll never forget the way she made that animal mine. Now, I have personally seen that dog chase a grizzly bear halfway back to Florida. And that was when he was a pup. Cincinnatus, am I lying?
Oh, I've never heard you tell a lie before, Henry.
Should say not.
And the reason for that is that when that tongue of yours starts working, these ears of mine stop.
Dan, I hear tell you been out tracking that there panther.
Well, tell me, Henry, did I get him?
Got you that time.
Ran a little low and shot.
Never knowed you'd do that for, Daniel.
Well, he's not an easy target, but he's slowing down a little bit. I think he's getting careless backtracking. How's Faith getting along?
Faith? Well, ain't she still out to your place?
How many rifles did Tachi trade for?
Oh, just 2. Daniel, you don't think them engines?
I don't want to.
Well, she could still be up at Jody Brown's. You know, he could have took worse or something.
Let's hope she is. In the meantime, you better keep all this to yourself. I'll be back when we're another.
While she stays within the circle, she has no power over her own devil cat. If the cat comes upon her, it will kill her. We must go to higher ground and wait.
Has something happened to that woman?
I'm not sure.
Hardly be out looking dark at night unless...
Thank you, Jody.
Daniel! Well, you ought to talk to me. Tell me something. Well, she tended me when I was sick to death. It's the least I could... Has something happened to Faith?
I don't know.
But you suspect or you wouldn't be out looking. What do you suspect?
All right, Jody, I think maybe you ought to know. Maybe the Creeks carried her off to their camp. They think that she's a witch. They also think you brought her here for revenge.
You mean for...
There's a black cat around here killing their people right and left. They think she has some kind of power over it.
Why? Why would they think that?
Because they saw her with your dog. I'll let you know, Jody.
She is not here.
What's going on?
They are praying.
I know that, but what for?
They are praying that the medicine of the witch will destroy itself. They can do nothing but pray. They must not watch. Only the medicine man and the chief.
And why not the chief's son?
Because I believe, as you do, that she is no witch. They have staked her in the clearing where Kaweto was killed, and they are hiding in the brush, watching to see if the cat will come to her rescue.
And if he doesn't?
They will burn her when daylight comes.
You're just going to stand here and let it happen?
I am not the chief, and I cannot kill the cat.
No, I suppose you can't. Not if you've talked yourself into believing that you can't. Tachi, will you show me where the clearing is? Never mind, I'll find it for myself.
You will stay here.
I thought you said you didn't believe that she was a witch.
But I believe that if you stake out live bait, a panther will come down to take it, then it will be close enough to kill. My people must be free of this panther.
If your people do it this way, they'll only be safe until the next time your village is threatened. I'm going to go now, Tachi, and if you figure on pulling that trigger, I'd appreciate it if you'd make it a clean shot. You used to be a fine hunter.
Boone? Follow me. All of you.
Perhaps they're right. Perhaps everyone was... Oh, come on then. Once and for all.
Over here! Come on! Yeah!
Jody, you plain fool, where's your rifle?
beat that? Second time in 3 years that I've been away from that cabin, and I clean forgot my rifle.
It took a lot of killing.
But he died like any other cat. And the woman lives. Does she not?
I have eyes.
Why?
Listen, this here barrel and throat, it feels a sight better. Quit staring at me. That goes for everybody. Cactus is gonna faint.
No, I'm not.
Did you really have a council meeting with that old chief?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Henry Carter says he's more than 500 years old? And he hasn't said a thing for more than 200 years.
Well, now, you know that's not exactly true. Matter of fact, he said something yesterday.
What did he say?
Well, he said something about public spankings for Henry Carter and all the other gossips in Kentucky. Wasn't so much what he said, but the devilish way he said it.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'll sit just a few more minutes. The fire's so cheerful.
Well, anytime you're ready, I'll be glad to. Jody.
Daniel. Rebecca. Evening, Miss Faith.
Jody, I don't know whether you remember my boy Israel. Israel?
I was just passing by, and it occurred to me that Miss Faith might be here and might be wanting someone to walk her back to the settlement.
Oh, well, it occurred to you just right, Mr. Brown. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Well, young man, is that what you thought a hermit would look like?
No. You know, but then Jody Brown's really not a hermit, because hermits don't go walking around with school teachers.
No, it's expressly against the Hermit's Book of Regulations.